I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com on February 6th, 2019. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah. We're live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio, where I'm joined by Sydney Rogers, Josh Durso, and Jim Sinicropi.
Whoop whoop.
Happy Wednesday, everyone, on this rainy, gloomy Wednesday
Yeah, it just started
afternoon.
raining. It's supposed to ice.
Yes.
Yay.
I know I had a client saying, if the weather isn't great tomorrow, and I didn't know what they were talking about, so.
Because you don't pay attention.
I don't pay attention to weather. Until I come here. That's why I come here every Wednesday. Mm-hmm. But we have some interesting news to talk about.
Yeah, let's dive into it. So obviously everybody knows that malls are basically they're not doing very well, right? So we're seeing all these. Charlotte Russe filed bankruptcy over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Sears is packing up and saying see you later pretty much everywhere. The anchors are struggling in the malls, so that means the smaller stores it's easier for them to get out of their contracts and their leases and everything like that. A lot of interesting stuff going on there. But now the discussion has sort of shifted to what are you going to do with all that space, like Sears at Eastview Mall.
Right.
And it's interesting. I just this morning I had Jack Marin, Victortown supervisor, in, and after the show was over, we started talking a little bit about the changes that are happening in malls. And he actually thinks that in 5 to 10 years, malls are going to look so drastically different that municipalities pretty much shouldn't be really banking on them as a revenue source in terms of sales tax and what they've come to, what you sort of expect.
Look at the Auburn Mall.
Yeah.
Exact same.
Mall in Auburn, really.
So some of the interesting ideas, obviously, there's been a little bit of chatter about Tesla possibly opening up where Sears was in Eastview. Unconfirmed, just something in the sort of dream stage. But there's also been an interesting push toward moving residential into commercial malls. As malls continue to shrink and die, you have all this space. What are you going to do with it? And I thought it was really interesting because it would create a scenario where maybe if you partly converted malls to residential as they start to empty out, it might be one of the only viable uses for malls.
That's weird.
Because
otherwise, would have thought of that.
That's not what I thought.
Especially, I've heard it that mentioned for seniors. It's a senior community inside a mall, so it's almost like a little town square, like food court stays.
That's what I was thinking. It's weird, but kind of cool.
The interesting thing is like if you look at what sort of the trends are. So I take like Lake Tunnel Solar in Geneva as an example. Mm-hmm. That's not only what older folks are looking for. That's what younger folks, our generation, are also looking for. So it's interesting. I think that's pretty much where the future is for that. It has to be.
So wild.
Which is crazy to think. Then I think eventually you'd probably start to see going down that path de facto grocery stores operating at or near these types of malls as the anchors continue to disappear. Imagine a scenario where you have a grocery store, your condo or apartment, and shopping in is literal mixed use, which is pretty much all the rage in private development right now.
Big enough you can have you can have health care.
That's what I was thinking.
Everything.
You'd have a hairstylist. You'd have all
one-stop shop.
You're walking
they would
around,
never leave
it's
their
all inside.
Right.
What would they call
it's good
it?
for seniors with dementia.
What would you think about? What would you call it? It could be a fun thing to think about, like what the actual whole area is called, because it's not just like
it's different.
A residential
it
center.
becomes a community.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally become
kind of
communities
creepy in
at
a
that
way.
point.
It actually is weird and creepy if you think about it too, because there's it's all enclosed, so it's not like they're walking outside to go to these places. They're just staying right in their own little
Right, it's perfect
village.
for the winter and the summer, actually.
They're turning into
too
a
much
little
parking,
hole.
though. Too much parking spaces for that.
Well, I think at that point you'd start to see the spaces expand even more. I think you'd see more development, more construction to accommodate even more.
Huh.
It's
I just
strange.
wonder what the rent would be, what the investment would be. I mean, it's interesting to think about and talk about.
Makes me think
I
about
never would
Wall-E.
have thought about it.
You know how they're all on that ship in Wall-E? Have you ever seen
No.
that movie? It's like the cutest little kid movie ever. But they're all on a spaceship type thing, but they're all enclosed and they can't leave, and it tells that they have the food and they have the game rooms and the basketball courts and all this stuff, and then they all turn into what they want, which they just are all sitting in their chairs, and then they can order food in their chairs, and they all become fat and obese and don't do anything.
That's an interesting.
I think it's the ultimate sort of move toward convenience in my mind.
Right, for
because
sure.
even something you
And
say
safety.
everybody and safety, you'd say everybody turns fat in that scenario.
Well, it gets better towards the end.
If the gym is literally just a temperature a climate controlled 50-yard walk, I mean, suddenly that's not such a hassle anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's
weird. They put a
weird.
grocery store at the other end. They have to walk to the grocery store and push their carts back to their...
Right.
Yeah.
But still, that's incredible. Imagine
They're
being
not
able
gonna
to do
drive,
your
right?
grocery
Without
shopping
getting in
without
your car.
ever having to get in
Right.
your car or go outside.
Yeah,
Not
that's a
even
weird
own a
thing.
car, really, at that point.
I know.
Exactly.
But yeah,
different
you would
age
take a
groups?
walk, an evening stroll through the concourse of the mall.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Sheila, how
Yeah,
you doing?
seriously. They would know everybody and everything that was going on.
I think it's weird for like our
Interesting.
generation and the generation right before us because they saw what malls were sort of in their
Right.
prime.
Even the
That's
Auburn
true.
Mall.
And now what they are is just a shell of what it was and what it will be.
Still jamming, though.
Oh, of course. And
like-
Destiny USA is
Right.
obviously because
Yeah.
but if you look at those malls, they're doing things differently. They aren't doing the traditional. If you look at compare it to a place like Marketplace in Rochester, which
I forgot
they
about
have
that place.
struggled
Yeah,
mightily
Yes.
to market and just keep full. That I think is
Wow.
sort of the tale of the two tapes.
One weird thing would be, though, when you go to bed at night, you pull down that big steel grate, and, and people can still see through it. So they might have to change something about that.
Right? Would you be able to have your own your porch in your front of your house?
I think
would
as
all
far as
look
the
kinda
facade
different?
goes, I think you would see a complete overhaul. It wouldn't look like your traditional mall at that point,
Yeah, I know,
but it would be.
It's fun to think of it like that.
They would have to build second story. I mean, you really.
We already have it.
Well, some do, but like the Auburn Mall doesn't.
The Auburn Mall has the roller skating
Well,
thing.
right.
That's what I
In the
picture
middle. It
everybody
needs,
looking like.
It needs to be. There needs to be like some sort of skyscraper because you can't fit enough people in the old retail spaces to support a whole community.
Yeah.
You would need to
This is
build
so
more
crazy.
housing, and the mall actually you'd build housing kind of
Within
attached to the mall, and then the mall
Yeah.
itself would still be retail and shared community spaces
Yeah,
for the most part.
it's a
Are the future. Right?
it's a wild thing to think about.
It sure is.
No,
But
if
I
you want
think-
to save the Auburn Mall, for example, then throw up a, if you can find some way to fit 200 to 300 residential people in there, it rents around $500 to $800 a month. That would fill up, and then in response to those spaces filling up, you would get your grocery stores and your restaurants and your gyms. And
Now the knock
Yeah.
against it, and I can
That's what
already
I was just
hear
thinking.
Jackie
Yeah.
Augustine jumping on me and including this little note. Because of where malls have historically been placed, they're placed in spots. It's high profile, high value real estate. It will not be that mid market or lower tier market rental value.
Right.
It would
Yeah.
be the high end. It would be the
demographic
condo
of-
style. $1,200 to $1,800, I would imagine anyway, just because of how they're typically placed, where everything is around.
the
And
other as-
zoning will have to change and everything.
The zoning will have to
Residential,
drastically
commercial.
change.
The other part of it is if that does happen and the malls do start filling back up with restaurants and grocery stores and other retail to support the people that live there, wouldn't that also make it more where other people can come from the outside and shop
yeah.
there again?
Yeah.
Think of if you kept it at that lower price per month, though, then you could turn it into a whole different type of environment.
It would
Then
be
throw
it
a
would be
casino
unique.
on there.
Yeah. Wow. All right, we have a
Everything.
good idea.
Everything.
Let's put it in play. Find someone to pay for it for us. and
Right.
Yeah.
It's
take
not our
credit.
idea.
It is. It is. I'm saying it is right now.
No, it is.
She's
No,
hijacking
it
the
is.
idea. It's never been thought of
Go
before.
with it.
It is now. I never really thought of it before. That
Me
was
neither. The more I
interesting
think
to
about it,
hear.
the more it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. All right.
But we have lots of photos.
Yes.
What photos
we
do
really
we have?
do have lots of photos. So
So I'm
let's
going
jump
to
do.
think
into
about
them.
now all
Wouldn't
day.
have to mow the lawn.
Yes.
That's true.
You would
No
have
maintenance.
Yeah, you'd have maintenance people on staff.
Would you
Yeah.
be able to have animals?
Sure, why not?
Where they poop? And that you could have fake grass, right, in this all little community. Nice smells.
It could happen.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. All right, let's get into photos. Our first is a view from Harder Canal Park, just west of Newark, late Friday afternoon. Shadows of New York State Bike Trail number 5 and the Erie Canal. This photo is by Robert Stopper.
It's cool.
That's pretty.
It looks like a train track. The shadow, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Beautiful. The Canandaigua Lady majestically lays in wait till the summer tourist season. This shot by Joanne Long.
But
There she is.
That's not in operation anymore, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
honestly.
Can people walk on it, though? I feel like I've been on that before.
Yeah, well, it was up until like 2 years ago, and then last
okay.
year it got like taken apart partly or moved out. They drove it all the way down to the southern end of Cuca Lake. Remember?
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Don't you remember that was in the news on our website?
How do you not remember
Nobody
all
wanted
that?
to take it.
That's interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Poor thing. I thought
Poor
they were still
lady.
doing like the restaurant thing on it, like dinners and stuff.
Maybe.
No.
I
don't know.
Don't know about that, but
Boat tour.
we'll
Hey,
look into
Canandaigua
it.
folks, let us know.
Yeah, we'll look
Yeah.
into
Know
it.
you're out there.
All right, Todd Tanner captured this cotton candy sky along Owasco Lake this week. I love me a cotton candy sky.
And look at that, like, the water. Looks like
And
awesome.
the branches
Part
coming
ice.
out. I mean, just
Yeah.
stunning.
Beautiful.
Todd Tanner.
Beautiful. This past weekend was a great time to go for a swim if you happen to be a bird. This photo was shared with us by Kathy Contant.
Still looks very gloomy and cold.
Are they swans or geese?
They look like swans.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But that one looks like a geese towards the right because it's got a long neck. Just,
Probably a
I
mixed
can't
bag.
see.
just pointing it out.
All right, Nancy L. Wright caught this gorgeous sunrise in Yates County. Ooh, I love
I like it a lot.
Country road.
Take me home.
Beautiful, yes. Love it. Braving the frigid -8 degrees on Thursday morning, a tufted titmouse enjoyed sunflower seeds at a window feeder in South Bristol. This
That's a
photo
pretty
by
cool
Nancy
photo.
Jacobs.
Funny name for a bird.
I know, I just don't get it.
It's not a mouse.
Or, yeah.
Did you say that's no name for a bird?
Yeah.
It's a funny name.
Titmouse.
Yeah. Like, where did you come up with that?
I don't know, but
So many questions running through my mind.
Once you go down that road with words, none of them make sense.
Yeah.
Tufted titmouse.
Tufted. What does even tufted mean?
What it sounds like, I think. Right?
It's a tough
Little
little
tufts.
titmouse.
Yeah.
Tufted.
Tuft.
I more like his feathers are tufted
Right.
somehow, whatever that means.
Punch the other
Fluff.
birds with his feathers.
All right. This shot captured the powerful lake effect snow bloom that was impacting communities east of Lake Ontario last week. It wasn't snowing at Sodas Point, though, which was good news for Chris Trine as he took this photo.
That's crazy. That's cool. So much going on in that photo.
Oh my gosh. That is amazing.
Excellent.
Beautiful. The frigid cold was perfect for a little recreational fun on Cuca Lake. This photo by Brooke Gordon. Brr!
Those people are crazy.
That's what
Just
I'm
like
thinking.
the people
Wild.
who do the ice fishing when it was like 50 degrees out. That was like
That's
scary.
crazy. That is scary.
So we had a gentleman lose his life on Skinny Atlas Lake.
Oh no,
Right.
yeah, I forgot.
So sad. But great photo. A bitter cold day in Wayne County. The apple trees were reaching for the sun, even though it wasn't making things very warm down here on the ground. Another shot captured by Kathy Contant.
Wayne County is
Wow.
coming out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy is always hard at work up there in Wayne County.
Always beautiful.
Not too long ago, we were going apple picking.
I know.
Although I didn't go apple picking, but people did. Through that orchard.
Oh, next year. Steve Eichhorn captured these birds who appeared to be having some words last weekend in Ontario County.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my goodness.
That is a angry married couple.
That is actually an angry bird.
Those are starlings.
That's what they're called?
I believe they look like
Oh, you
starlings.
guys
Are
are
those
so
like
clever.
dots all over their feathers? Like on its head and by its tail? It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
I believe it's a starling, but they're like, get out my house.
Right. Back it up.
Who do you think you are, a tufted titmouse?
Must be some good food in that feeder.
God. Right. All right, a pair of immature bald eagles were among at least a dozen spotted near Seneca Lake State Park Tuesday afternoon. This photo was shared to us by Shelley Lannon. Wow.
Love me some bald eagles.
Yeah, there's a lot of them around.
Wow.
I wonder what age they mature.
Right.
What do you mean, like start taking responsibility, build
Yes.
their own nests,
Yes.
go
They look
hunting
like-
for their own food?
Right.
They look like good-sized birds. I
know.
can't imagine they're
Yes.
not responsible for themselves.
Yeah, I
Man.
think so.
I think you tell by the marking on the head.
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah,
Get more bald as they get more mature.
more white.
Sounds like people.
You guys kill me. All right. Before the ice thawed, there were plenty of fishermen out on Sodas Bay.
Ooh.
This photo by Bruce
Wrong.
Farrington, who said it looked like a tent village out on the water.
That is not
Oh my
that is not that photo.
Oh, yeah, that was the next one, probably by Todd Tanner.
Yes, that is the next one by Todd Tanner.
Yeah, read the one about Todd Tanner for a
Okay.
second.
Yeah, because there's no tents there. But here's another stunning sunrise by Todd Tanner along Owasco Lake. This one had a summery vibe.
Except for the
Indeed.
snow and ice.
But
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Oh, wow.
That
Love
is
it.
nice.
Oh, there's no tent photos.
Oh, no.
Oh, the
I wanted
tent
to
photo
see
is
that
gone.
one.
Well, this
Didn't
one
make it through.
was by Kathy McLaughlin, and she found this great sign to shoot along Owasco Lake on one of the cold days last week.
Now, obviously, the sign's there year round.
I love it, though.
But-
She found
No
the
swimming
irony
in
in
this
it.
area. Right. I
Yeah,
love
don't
it.
worry.
Yeah.
Even
know
if
what?
you wanted
You're
to, I
right.
don't think you could jump through the ice to
Right.
swim.
Don't
I better
try.
turn around, get back in my car.
And Chris Trine was able to capture some of the activity out on Soda.
Oh!
Okay, wait, let me read this one again. This was...
No, that's still Chris Trine.
It is?
Yeah, this is Chris
Yeah.
Trine's photo.
Oh.
He did
Sorry,
two-
Bruce.
There are two different. There's two different shots of the.
Oh, okay. Well, this was from Chris Trine, and this is out on Sodas Bay. He estimated there were upwards of 80 of them out there on the water when he was there. So that's a lot. That's a lot of people.
Ice tent.
That's
Yeah.
scary to me.
That's what I drove by, and I was like, you people are crazy.
Crazy people.
I think they said that the ice was like 8 to 10 inches
Yeah,
thick at the
sure.
time, though. So I
Yeah,
mean,
no
you're
worries.
Yeah, but the next
good.
days when it warmed up, there was still that many people out there, and that looked more sketchy because you started to see the patches of like water.
Oh, gosh. The thought. All right. Warm sunrise on a cold day in this photo captured by Nancy L. Wright. And I guess that wraps it up for
That
our
does.
photos this week.
That wraps it up.
Okay, I don't know what happened to the other one.
Good one.
We'll find him.
Dropbox ate it.
Dropbox. Well, I don't know. I mean, there were so many good ones. How do we pick? I can't go first.
I will go first. Wait. Yes, there was a lot, but I'm going to go with my first one, which was Nancy L. Wright caught the gorgeous sunrise in Yates County.
On the back road.
The one with the
road.
road splitting. it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know if it was the back. That one was where it looked like the clouds were like both.
I don't normally go with animal photos, but those two birds
Okay.
The angry
going
couple.
at it, getting ready to duke it out.
Steve's.
I'm about that.
Okay.
Steve Eichhorn.
Yes,
Yeah, that's Steve Eichhorn's.
I do love it.
Then those were two of my tops. So I'm going to go with Todd Tanner's Cotton Candy Sky.
Oh yeah, two skies and
So,
two
Sydney,
birds.
which one did you choose?
I chose Nancy L. Wright with the
Like
gorgeous
the
sunrise
Row
in Yates
Country
County.
Road.
Nope,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
The
it
first
wasn't.
one.
It was.
Wasn't
Oh,
that
with
one?
the...
I do love that one, but
Well,
it was
that's
not
the one
that.
I was going to choose, but now I can't. So
Oh, you're talking about the
sorry.
one
thanks
with
to
the
you,
fence
Nancy
chip?
L. Wright got screwed.
No.
Oh. It looked like there was like cotton candy sky too, but then it had it, and there was like ice still on the water, but it looked like clouds.
That was Todd Tanner.
Nope.
That was not Nancy.
It was
Oh,
1,
man.
2, 3, 4, 5. My favorite
Fifth photo.
number. Number 5.
The one I just showed you was number 5.
No way. No,
Wait.
it wasn't.
Well, regardless,
I
I'm going with this one in that case.
know I'm right, and I'm standing by it. But this is a great photo too, so
It
I'm happy
is.
that this one won as well.
Todd
Amazing.
Tanner's Cotton Candy Sky was the third one.
Yes, I know that. See?
Yeah.
And then Nancy L. Wright caught gorgeous sun. Maybe, I don't know.
That was that one.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Steve Eichhorn, though. Action
Beautiful.
shot.
Thank
Yes.
you all. Thank you so much for sending them in. If you'd like to share your logo photos from across the region, click the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right of our homepage here at FingerLakes1.com. All right, let's take a look at our weather because we all know I have no idea what's coming.
It's Same.
Jim, can you fill us in?
Friday, weekend weather here. Mostly cloudy, high near 44. So that's really warm for February.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
50% chance of rain or snow if it's late at night or early in the morning. Overnight, Friday night, down to 20 degrees. Still a 50% chance of snow. Saturday, mostly cloudy, high of only near 26. So it gets a little colder. 40% chance of snow showers. Saturday night down to 15, so it starts to feel a little more midwintery. And then Sunday, pretty pleasant day, partly sunny, high near 31. And then heading back to work, high near 33 on Monday. But it's it can change. But right now it looks like a pretty uneventful, comfortable for the most part weekend.
That breezy though scares me when it says breezy, but
oh yeah, I missed that. Friday's going to be breezy. Yeah, Friday that 43. Actually, I shouldn't say uneventful because on Friday it's going to be 44 degrees, and then the cold front's going to move through, and when that happens, it's going to be really windy and it's going to get a lot colder heading into Saturday, where the high's only going to be 26. So.
But I think with this weather, there's a perfect event going on that coordinates with the weather, and it's the 21st annual Downtown Ithaca Chili Cook-Off, and it's this Saturday at the Ithaca Commons and surrounding streets. The Chili Cook-Off features chili prepared by 40-plus restaurants as they compete for the titles of Best Meat Overall Chili, Vegetarian and Vegan Chili, and People's Choice Chili, which all sound amazing.
When is this?
This is Saturday, and you can get pre-sale tickets at the Downtown Ithaca Visitor Center on State Street, or you can call 607-277-8679. And I think that's perfect for the time of year that we're at.
Yeah. You buy tickets by tastings. So you can buy $10 for 10 tastings, $20 for 20 tastings.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Some of those people really make
like one of those little souffle cup kind of things.
I would hope it would be bigger.
A little bit. I would hope it would be a little bit bigger too. Maybe one of these.
It'd be a lot of chili though if you had.
That's a lot of chili.
I mean, if you have more than that.
I wonder if there's something that cleanses their palate. Do you think they have that for chili tastings? Well, yeah, that would definitely alter your chili tastings.
Right.
But that is like something that we thought was perfect for this weather and what's going on.
I love it. I want to go.
I'd like to be a person who gets to judge
a food
They do it at that. They used to do it at the SMS.
We should all be judges at food things.
I know.
We like to eat.
Literally, let's just sign ourselves up for all the.
Unlike most people. Eating.
Right, We'll just be like, hey, we will do it on our show. We'll be the judge.
Exactly.
We'll try anything, no matter what.
Let's not.
Right?
I don't know about
easy
anything.
Easy
I'm a little picky.
You got to live on the wild side.
The person who has the pickiest appetite of the four of us here is saying that we need to try anything and everything.
Is she picky? What do I have?
Please.
I'm not that picky. I'm just not that good with hot stuff, but I will still try it.
I
love
hot
food.
Stuff.
I'm in love with food, okay? So, but what do we have going on in sports this weekend?
We all know what happened Sunday, but
boring. It was so boring.
Yeah, but was it more boring? Was this week's Super Bowl more boring than the Super Bowls where it was like 48-3?
Right.
I would say no.
No.
Right.
I just think overall, I just was not as excited as I've been in the past, and people are all going to have their comments and stuff, but not even any of the commercials even caught my attention. I still like to watch the game, and it wasn't that boring because they were stopping each other and whatnot. They just weren't scoring as much. But
what is this fascination? Why do people have such high expectations for the commercials?
Because in the past they had,
as a society, we loathe anything that stops us from getting instant gratification.
Right?
But they're supposed to be entertaining because you have to sit
some
through
of them were.
They paid $5.1 million just to get in for one of those things.
This was the least watched Super Bowl in over 10 years.
Was it really?
Yeah, the tide.
Were they boycotting the Patriots because they've been?
No, I think people don't have 3.5 hours worth of attention span or 4 hours worth of attention span to give to a game of any kind. I mean,
they just don't care.
Out of all of it, I saw there was one guy on social media, and he brought in a bunch of homeless people around New York City, and he brought them to his Super Bowl party and got them food and got them clothes and made them watch, or made them.
Now you're going to watch.
Well, you never know.
There's a price to pay for the hospitality.
Yeah, but had them watch it, and I was like, that's the best thing I saw. That was great.
Yeah, I love that.
Out of the whole Super Bowl.
Well, this weekend, Syracuse, they lost last night to Florida State in the Dome. They host Boston College in the Dome Saturday at 2 o'clock. Mm-hmm. We just got done playing Boston College on Wednesday night, which is so crazy, the ACC.
They're good at scheduling. They're really good at scheduling.
I can't stand it. So anyways, Cornell basketball at Dartmouth, on the road at Dartmouth at 7 o'clock on Friday. You can watch that on ESPNU. Then at Harvard at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Cornell hockey hosts Clarkson Friday night at 7 o'clock at Newman Arena. St. Lawrence on Saturday at 7. And it's Alumni Weekend at Hobart, which means back-to-back doubleheaders for William Smith Herons and Hobart Statesman basketball Friday night. It's against Skidmore, girls at 5, boys at 7. And then on Saturday, it's against Bard College. 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock at Bristol Gymnasium in Geneva. PGA Tours at the Pebble Beach AT&T Pro-Am. And Finger Lakes 1 will be in Waterloo Friday for Newark at Waterloo. It's a rematch. Waterloo went to Newark and beat them, and a lot of people weren't happy about that. We're going to have a little rematch Waterloo Friday night. Last night, Kyle Saluka hit 2 3-pointers in the final 9 seconds of the game, including one with 0.8 seconds left to win by 1.
Oh my gosh.
Over Geneva.
That's exciting, though.
That's
I like
wild.
those games.
And then this coming Sunday morning, I'm going to have the Lions basketball team and the Wayne Eagles basketball team. Not all of them, but there's going to be 7 kids in here for the Upstate Hoops podcast.
Wow.
And they're the 2 best boys basketball teams in the Wayne Finger Lakes. So
oh my goodness. That's awesome.
that's at 10 a.m.
You do such a good job with the kids. Bringing them in here. I tuned in
Bring them right in
Sunday
here. I don't make
morning.
them watch anything either.
You don't make them.
Yeah.
You will
to
come here and
sit
you will
here
watch.
and listen. All right.
No, but it's a
Thank
great
you,
platform
Jessica.
for them. You're welcome. It really is. I mean, we all would have loved that in high school.
I
so
know.
it's awesome.
I say it all the time.
And you follow their careers. I mean, it's so exciting. They'll have these videos and everything for the rest of their lives.
Forever.
Yeah.
I know.
So
They're lucky.
that's pretty awesome.
You better let them know how lucky they are.
Wow.
Tell them.
I think they know.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
Well, we just got about another 2 minutes, minute and a half.
Wow, proud
Josh
of
got a
us.
new phone. He went from Apple to
Google.
Android.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm on
Is
the
it?
team.
It's a Google Pixel.
Are you have an Android too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Team
so
Green
does
Bubble over
everybody
here.
who-
That's not true. I have
She's
an
not.
iPhone. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's
all
all
right.
right.
It won't be long for you to switch over to.
Yeah.
Apple's going down the downhill.
Is it?
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know when I
kind of phone
switched,
do you
I
have?
loved it. I have the new Note, and I had a Note 4 or something for years, and I just held out. I wasn't one of the people that upgraded
Yeah.
it to the blowing up Note. Thank God. And I held out for this
the
one,
blow.
and I'm obsessed. I love it.
I
Is
am
it the Note
interested.
9?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm
That was
interested
one
to
of the-
hear more about yours.
It was one
What'd
of the
you
ones that I
get?
looked at. I got the Pixel 3 XL.
Oh, okay.
It's like that
And
one you see on
probably
commercials.
I haven't even had it for 24 hours yet. But the one thing that I have noticed is that the camera lives up to every single bit of hype that they've
Yeah.
put out there, and
I believe
the
it.
night sight, Google's night sight, that's software based manipulation of the camera lens. It is incredible. Nighttime photos. I mean, you can get some really quality stuff.
Prove
We
it.
Are gonna
Send in your photos.
That's
Yes.
right.
You better take
We'll
some
see.
good photos now.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoy the show, click like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back next week. Until then, have a wonderful weekend here in the Finger Lakes. Bye-bye.
You too, Jessica.
Thank
Tell
you.
your friends about the show
Yeah.
and all our great programs. FingerLakes1.com.